These are just part of the game.
Zach, we talked so much about you guys coming out and starting fast. You come out with a three and out.
Mm-hmm.
How disappointing was it to start like that?
Yeah, it was, but at the same time, we just move on. You can't make it bigger than it is, and I thought we put some good things together on the second drive, and we're able to convert. And I think that was part of the game. Is it didn't look great from the first drive, but oh well. You got to move on, and it's not always going to be. And so, I thought we did some good things in the drive after.
Just overall, what has the last few hours been like for you? Obviously, being worried about suffering a serious injury and having hope that you don't, and then having to watch not being able to play while your team struggled like that.
Yeah, frustrating. I just sat in there asking him, can I go back in? What can I do? Um, once they said the best thing to do was probably obviously not to play and to make sure we find out what's wrong first. I just kind of sat in there on my phone and watched the game, on my phone, and just tried to see everything that was going on, and obviously wanted the best for those guys to come out there and get it done, and we're going to keep getting better. We've got a big process for us.
Zach, obviously, they must have told you to stay in the locker room. What was the reasoning for that? To stay off your feet, or what were you doing in there?
Yeah, I was really in there just starting pretty much the rehab process, icing and stem and all the different things that you can do at this point, and honestly probably just cooling down a little bit, trying to watch the game, and it was obviously frustrating.
Zach, from a team perspective, when you have a loss like this, just how do you deal with it as a team?
Yeah, you move on. You move on. We're not going to let this beat us up, because we're in this for the long run, and it's a process. As long as we just keep trying to get better every single game, and we keep going to work, and guys don't try and do too much, all the way across the board, including us in the quarterback room. Just taking what they give us. We'll eventually get there.
What do you think of how Mike played?
Awesome. I thought, I said to him in there, I'm like, dude, that's a hard situation, to step in there. He hasn't taken many reps. He obviously hasn't played very much in a live game before, but I thought he played really well. I thought he came in there composed, and I thought he did a great job leading them with some really good drives. And I really did think he played well.
What's the mood like in the locker room right now? I mean, obviously you want to. Nobody should be happy with that final score, but like you kind of just hinted to, you don't want to beat yourself up about it. So what's that balance, and what's the mood in there?
Yeah, guys are obviously frustrated, but I would say determined. Guys want to get better. And the message around is, we're going to be all right. Keep getting in the film room, keep getting better. We're going to be all right.
Is it tough, though, Zach, because you guys talked a lot during going into the bye, coming out of the bye, about how you felt like you had changed some things, corrected some things, and got this headed in the right direction. And then, obviously, I know you didn't play only a quarter and a half or so, but to then have a game like this with 50 points let up and all that.
Yeah, of course, frustrating. But, I'd say, obviously being pissed off or upset about that, probably really doesn't help us. And we just have to understand that that's what happened, and that's part of the game. And, adversity is going to hit just like that. And it's always about how you respond. And I think the guys have the right message and the right demeanor as far as that goes. And so that's exactly what we're going to try and do.
Zach, Robert has always been, just upbeat by nature, his personality. He was pretty down in here. I just wonder what was his message to you guys, and what did you take out of what he had to say?
Yeah, exactly. Kind of what I just said. How are you going to respond when adversity hits? Every good team that I've been on in my life, looking back till I was playing Pee Wee football, it always sucked before it got better. No one ever really just walks into situations, and it's the greatest thing from the beginning. And I think guys understand that it's a process, and we just got to keep getting better. And we just all got to be accountable of our mistakes and what things we could have done better. And as long as we just keep getting better, I think it'll take care of itself.
Before you were able to get off the
Last one here.
field and they were tending to you, what was kind of going through your mind at that moment?
Yeah, really just like, obviously you run through your mind just like, praying that it's not the worst case scenario, having a knee injury. And at first it wasn't necessarily like a painful thing. I felt a pop, I felt a twist. So like, you kind of know when it's different than just, getting some sort of bruise or getting landed on or whatever. I knew something had happened. It felt a little unstable, and that was why I kind of wanted to just make sure everything was okay. It was sore. I didn't feel like I could move it at first. And that was kind of why I laid there, tried to just get my thoughts together and, kind of figure out what was going on. And then from there, it's just, even now, still trying to figure out how we can make it better.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Zach. Appreciate it.
offensively, what were the Patriots